Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Dr. Milind. So today in the series of for the FMG students, today I'm going to bring you a very a nice story of a student who studied at the same college where I did, and we connected few months back for a very different reason. And today I'm very
Yes.
happy to bring you Chinmayanand, who recently cleared his FMG exam, and let's try to know his story and how he did
Yes.
it. So, hi Chinmayanand,
Yes.
please introduce yourself.
So, yes, my name is Chinmayanand, Dr. Chinmayanand now, and I'm very happy to come here because Dr. Milind was my mentor. It was 2017 when I took my admission in Kazan State Medical University, where Dr. Milind himself studied, and I still remember I guess I have seen his score in the somewhere on the newspaper or in some brochure of some companies. So he was he got the same score what I got in my 12th standard. So it connected. We said if he can do, then I can come to Kazan also. So I took my admission there and started my MBBS journey or whatever the MD physician journey there. And today, like recently, I have cleared my FMG in my first attempt uh, without subscription, without having any subscription for past 2 years and without any coaching because I was sure because this exam recently the exam pattern is totally clinical. So you have to know the concept. So I was sure that I can do it without coaching or some subscription also. So I have gone for it, but I won't recommend you to do that, but it's possible to do that.
So, tell us more in detail about your strategy. Like, what was your source, and when you started preparing, and how did you prepare?
So I started preparing when we had podcast 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. That time was the major time of my studies, second half of the third year. I started my study. I took some subscription that time and I studied through it. But during the over the period of time, I thought this subscription thing will end at some point, and because this is the business model of theirs, like we have to buy it again and again. So I thought, why to buy it again and again? So I studied it once for the major subjects and the important subjects. For example, surgery, medicine. Then we have obgyn and PSM. I did these subject thoroughly. Along with that, that this forensic medicine, ophthalmology, and ENT. I did this thoroughly from those subscription apps for 2 years, whatever the subscription I had, and later I switch on to my notes, whatever I have prepared during this time span, especially for bigger subjects. So that helped me a lot. And for the lesser subjects, those are the, as you said during our previous podcast also, like these small subjects are easy to go with and these are rank making subjects.
Yeah.
But these are very difficult to remember. So what I did, I used free videos of some from YouTube or some review books, as we mentioned previously in our previous podcast. So I use everything whatever I can. It was like pretty much kind of jugaad thing, I will say, but I did it. So I will make three sections for subjects, like big subjects. Those are obgyn, surgery, medicine, and PSM. These you have to do thoroughly because these in the recent exam, the portion of these subjects, like questions from these subjects are asked more. And remaining subjects, you can rely on free sources also or any review books also because it's impossible, I will say, to cover whole syllabus during your 6 year. Like it's possible, but it's pretty impossible because we have another material for our university also. You have to read that also. So it's very difficult to manage that time. So at least for me, it was difficult, but I tried whatever I can, like whatever best for me, I did it. So that was my strategy, I will say. Not much, but I was studying every day, like 5 hours I was giving and doing other things also, like extracurricular and university other stuffs also.
Yeah, that's a very nicely put, Chinman. And then I think the students who are currently pursuing their MBBS abroad, this is a very important point that you should note that you should start like during the last 2 3 years of your what Chinmayanand exactly did. Last 2 3 years of your during your course, you should start making a note, not understanding your concept because you have a lot of time, and make a
Yes.
good set of notes, your handwritten notes, which will be easy for you to understand because you know what lies in between the lines. The problem
Yes.
is when you come back and then you join something and start reading, then it's a very short time. You don't know whether to make notes or to read them or to revise them. I think why it was easy for Chinmayanand, because उसने already prepare किया था, like he prepared it and he just kept revising it. He solidified, I think, his concept in those years, and then it became a
Yes, sir.
cakewalk for him. So it's a very important message and it's a very good strategy, I feel, because it's not only about exam. What you can understand from this point, that he carried this knowledge throughout this final years till the exam. That means it is going to be there with him for a very long time. It's not like only 6 months he prepared and wrote exam and now he'll forget it. We are doctors, we have to use it like in our next year. I'm sure this will help you for your PG entrance as well.
Yes, sir. And the reason behind going through this strategy was like I knew this exam is licentiate exam, so you have to pass it. And it's better if you score like 200 plus or 250 or it's good. But the problem is when you target for more marks, then it brings pressure and worries about around it. So it's very difficult to maintain that. And I was like, I was very worried student from my beginning only because. I had other problems also in my life. It was not like a straight walk for me because I came on students' loan. Then my financial conditions always were like jumbling. It was not straight. Like you can understand being a student there at Kazan, and there was a war. There was then COVID and everything. I couldn't come home, so everything was like it was a mental burden also. So I had to take this path. So I studied. Along with that, I did my part-time jobs so that I can have my food and some time and a lot of time like I earned for my traveling because I knew once I come back here, it there are less chances to go again
Yeah.
because you get one chance every time. Now my financial condition, my parents' condition is everything is sound, so now I can go again at Kazan and spend my time again. But at that time, I thought it's better to live it like whole, like full.
Yes, for a
So
foreign medical graduate, with the challenging conditions that are there, with limited resources, sometimes it's very difficult, and that is why it should be the source of your inspiration, because all of our parents have put in lot of efforts, lot of money, lot of ambitions they have put. So it's our job to stay true to that. And I think somewhere some students they lose that track, but it's very important that you should
yeah,
stay on the track, because once you come back to
yes,
India without this exam, and if you see a government of India's laws that are changing every year, then making it more
every
and
year.
more difficult for FMGs. So it's better you get away with this exam as soon as possible, so you start your next life as soon as
Yeah.
possible. So that's very important. So tell us, Chinmayanand, you told about your strategy like when you were there. So from when you came to India, how your day would look like till your exam, like how many hours did you study whole day, and what was your daily strategy, like how did you do it?
Yeah. So basically, for the starting months, I was like demotivated as all student they were because we came just recently and it was like new thing, parents with us, and we had like different things. It was happy atmosphere at home, and it's very difficult to cope up with that happy atmosphere and study like soon. So what I did is like I started reading big subjects again. Those I have made notes and whatever I have printed stuff I had. I read those for 2 months. I gave two reads for these big subjects so that these subjects could stay with my mind, like in my subconscious for a long time. And then I switched to the strategy of for medium-sized subjects like Opta, FMT, and this ENT. And then I thoroughly read it once, and then after like last 3 months, I did only short revisions. Like rapid revision stuff is there. You can get those notes from somewhere. So just download it and just read it. Like and just what I will say, just uh, try to see the same points in your notes as well as in the rapid revision. Just tick mark it, and the remaining different points read from your main notes. Those I did because I knew this exam gonna be difficult this time because last time paper it was difficult. 10% passing rate was there. This time same stuff happened again because I don't know what they're looking from us, but it's getting very difficult these days. Like part one was difficult this time. Part two was easy because part two was part two was very I would say conceptual based.
Mhm.
So I don't know what they want from us, but only thing I want to say is you have to read everything. At least try to give two reads from the main notes. Otherwise, it's not possible to clear it because questions are very big, like a paragraph they are giving, and
Yeah.
then you have to choose the answer. So what you will do, and I guess you are familiar with this pattern because it's like AIMS or JIPMER or like INICT pattern is there. So this was a difficult thing for me. And then for regarding day, what your question I want to answer. A day, the first half of the day I was doing the major subject. Second half of the day I was doing the easy subject because second half of the day is a lazy one. After post lunch you feel dizzy, so you have to do some interesting stuff like Dharma or ortho or something like radio. You have to do like that. So one big subject and one small subject. That was the strategy. And after that, I had that FMG solution book. I was doing the conceptual MCQs only, not one-liners, because one-liners doesn't they don't repeat always. So that was a strategy. And from this, I was like, I lose my 20 marks around in one-liners because I can't remember those stuff. Always difficult for me. I don't know why, but I will try to cope up with it for my NEET PG.
Yeah.
I need to buck up a little
Yeah, so
in
I can
one-liners.
definitely help you with that problem, because what I want to highlight here for the students who are listening to this. So it is very important what Chinmayanand has highlighted, that see, the revisions are important. So whatever you are reading, unless and until you revise them, it's of no use. So a lot of students, they waste a lot of time on writing the notes, compiling their notes, and arranging their notes, and selecting their source. So they lose a very vital time. Also, what the very wise move by you was clearing your concept like beforehand during your pre-final and final year. So that is also a good thing. But even if you're someone who have not done that, I would say, like, whenever you are attending a class now, like if you have taken any subscription, as Chinmayanan said, that is no, it's not like possible for everyone to do that. So if you have joined any classes, try to clear your concept then and there itself, like where you are in the class. Data you can go home and read, but the concepts is something that you have to understand there. And when you come back, you revise your notes, and then your work is done. And now you have to just revise these notes. And again, a
Yeah.
very important point highlighted by Chinmayanand. Again, I want to stress how nicely he divided his day. Whether it's with everyone, even for me, the morning hours were very nice. I was like on the top of my game. Like, I want to read a lot. But after lunch, suddenly there is, sleepiness, laziness, and everything will come. It's and if you remember, like we had one anatomy teacher in Kazan. His name was Elnas Gandhi, Elnas sir, and he
Yeah,
used to say that changing a subject is
switch.
yeah. He used to say that change your subject to not get bored. And this is what he has
Yeah.
also highlighted, that after lunch you do minor subject, so you don't get bored, because these subjects are interesting and you finish them fast. So you feel happy that your subject is getting covered up. So I think that's a very
Yes.
good point, and definitely who are viewing this interview should definitely integrate these points in their preparation. One more question I have for you. A lot of students, they feel negativity because we have studied abroad. So there are a lot of negative thoughts, depressive thoughts that come and kick whether I'll pass this exam or not. So how did you fight them? Like, how was your strategy to
Yes.
stay out of this negativity?
Yeah, yes, I agree with this because I have gone through it because my relatives also were doing the same stuff. Because it was like I don't know why it is like this, but it's there, still there. Whenever I go from like go in public meetings or somewhere, whenever I was saying like I'm doing my MBBS from Russia, Kazan State Medical University. They said, really, is Russian MBBS like approved by Indian one? Are they gonna make you work here or other stuff? I was always saying them, there are a lot of FMGs like you, Milind sir. I was always giving your name and showing like this podcast I have did with him. Like you should see it because this negativity should be broken like by doing such podcast only. So what I did, I was not listening. I was ignoring. My stuff is like ignoring game. Like I ignored. I never fight, and I just ignore them. That's the thing. And why they say this negativity, because we are the one which has a concept of this. Like it's all in our mind. We think someone is thinking bad about us, or someone is trying to demean us always. But I think it's not like that. But so what should be done in this case? Just ignore and then make them understand once or twice. It's not like that. This. If they get understood, okay. If not, also okay. So that's the thing. And and I kept myself motivated by doing my stuff. Like I was not putting my leg in another person's business. I was doing my stuff. I was exercising, and I was doing all the positive thing. Listening to the podcast on your channels, because those are the unique podcasts. Because other channels don't show the reality as usual. They will try to sugarcoat the things, but on your channels, it's like no sugarcoating. It's only real thing is there. So that was my motivation, and I was always listening to good people, like good podcasts. That was only the positive thing, because what people think doesn't matter to me now. And I don't know how to put this, but you have also gone through this. You should, like, you can also make them understand. But for me is a ignore strategy. I never give them
Prove,
chance to.
prove them with your action rather than your words.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
would be,
So now I came with my first attempt result, and they was like, "Oh, you are like." Then it's like,
okay. So, Chinmayaman, thank you so much for joining us today. Any message you want to give to the students who are preparing for the next FMG session?
So next FMG exam will be soon, like after 2 months. I will say like it will be difficult for sure, because day by day questions are changing, like pattern is changing. So only thing is go conceptual and try to solve conceptual MCQs, and there will be problems like financial, like mental problems will be there. You have to, like, your health will not be okay during exams. You will feel dizzy or something. Everything will be there, but only thing is you have to keep going every day. You have to read your subjects. If you one day also you stop to read any subject or stop to revise, then it will affect your result, or like you will be away from 150, because a lot of students got this time 140, 150, 149, and 130s. These marks are like they are capable to pass their exam, but the only problem is they possibly they give up at the end, because last 7 days are the most difficult thing. If you can bear that time, then only you can do the exam. Otherwise, it's not possible. So keep going and keep doing hard work. And probably I don't know how this interview is going, because today I just came back from my recent trip, and I had some my throat and nose problem, but I did whatever I can. But that's how, keep going and think positive, and do only good things for other. Never try to get in between another's success or another's life. It may be like any problem. Like you can do anything. It's possible. I'm saying this because I have seen Milind sir going through the struggle and achieving everything, and now he's traveling a lot with his wife and his family. I want to do the same, and hope I can make what Milind sir has done, and I will try to make good content also. My channel name is also already existent. There is like bar. You can subscribe if you want.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to tell all students this as well, that it's possible with the study as well. It's not like you should always be studying. Chinmayanan has been very active on social media, and he has done a lot of things, and he had never neglected his study. So if you feel that you cannot combine two things, so definitely we have a exception here. And also, what I'm happy, like when we started few years back, now I'm very happy to
Yeah,
see a lot of FMG students breaking the barriers, and I can see every medical college now has FMGs doing their post graduation,
yeah,
doing their residency, and I'll definitely bring more and more stories of them. And definitely Chinmayanand will achieve more heights, I'm sure, in the near future, and we'll bring him again on our channel to share his stories.
yeah.
So thank you so much
Yes, sure.
for joining us, and definitely this will be a guiding light for a lot of FMGs, and soon a lot of FMGs will join this path and join this, the increasing list of FMGs who are making us proud. So thank you, Chinmayanand, for joining us, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.